We're the wonderful world of games.
Alright, you beautiful peoples of the interwebs, me Glyn here. It's Cheapskate Gaming, and on today's wonderful world of games, we're going to check out this one, The Lair of the Clockwork God. Quite an interesting game, not for everyone, I understand that. Let me just, right, hopefully that should be working now. Yeah, good. There we go, we're on the main screen here. Now, what I'll probably do things a little bit different because the way the style of this game is. If I just continue here. So this is a very unusual game in that it tries to do two genres at once. It's got a lot of comedy in there, sort of a lot of British comedy. Think Monty Python style comedy. There's a lot of that going in there. So the game has both got a platforming mode, but also it's got like point and click adventure. And it describes and explains that to you at the start of the game. So more importantly, I'm going to do a bit of a showcase now, so just watch the showcase of the game, and I'll go on about it while we're doing the showcase. Okay, so what is it that the game does seriously differently? So you play two characters and you can switch and swap between the characters mostly at any time. One of the characters can run, jump. As you go through the game, you get upgrades like double jump and all that. So he's a platforming character. The other character can only move left and right and look and use objects from his inventory, like a classic Monkey Island style point and click then. So between the two it becomes a sort of 2D side-scrolling platforming puzzle game. Quite an unusual concept, but it does work. And once I'd given it about an hour or half an hour into the game, I'd started to understand how the puzzles are put together, because initially it throws you in, you're like, where the hell do I go, what the hell do I do here? But once you start solving the first couple of puzzles, bit head scratchers, then you start to get into the game a little bit more, then it sort of flows a bit easier. It's like that with any of the game. Like, if you ever played the old Monkey Puzzle and Monkey Island games, then the first few puzzles are like, well, that doesn't make any sense, and then eventually you sort of get the humour and how the puzzles are done. So like in one of them, you find this battery with acid and you use it to basically take the head off a dead body, so because you want to use the hat, and that's the sort of stuff that you get to use in the game. Anyway, main thing is, how much do we get for pay for this game? So we pop over to here now. We'll go and have a look at how much we paid for the game. Right, more importantly, what can we pick this game up for? And here we go, on an eBay again. It's usually nearly always an eBay nowadays. We'll check out Gamivo as well, but 64 pence plus your charges. So again, as I always say with an eBay, the charges become less if you're buying more. So just to give an example, I've got 10 games in my basket here. Just to show you, I've got 10 games that I'm going to buy. Some of these might appear on the next show. And the service fee for all 10 games will only be 64 pence. Now, if I only have one game, it's going to be like 38 pence. So it makes sense to buy, when you do buy from an eBay, you can only put 10 games in your basket. They limit you, but put 10 games in. Like you say, look, I'm picking up 10 games for £5.20. So yeah, I just thought I'd show you that, because sometimes it's good to know, innit? Good to know this information. If you're on a budget, you know, times are hard nowadays, budget gaming, and this is how I do it. This is how if you've got sensible people out there, maybe that's how you should do it as well. Anyway, let's get back to the game. And as you can see, I realise this isn't going to be everyone's type of game, but for 60 odd pence, it's worth a try if you want to fancy something a little bit different. It's a much slower paced game. This is why I've done this sort of format for the video today, because if I'd just gone straight through one single playthrough of me playing it, probably wouldn't have got very far through the game, wouldn't have seen very much of it, because I probably would have got stuck on one of the puzzles, and it'd probably take me a few minutes to figure that out. Whereas I like to try and keep my videos short format, just so you can have a little look at what the game is and get a rough idea of what you're getting yourself into. But I mean, like I say, 60 pence for this this game, we're not exactly breaking the bank, are we? But yeah, I started playing it last night, and in the end I'd probably wasted about 3 or 4 hours getting well into it. I won't say I love it, but you can see that the art style obviously is this 2D graphic style. Sort of, I wouldn't say it's 16-bit, it's a bit better than that, but it's a sort of 2D retro art graphic style. There are some nice little sequences in there. The storytelling is, well, the story is just a bit bonkers, really. It's all over the shop, but then it just follows all the tropes of video game logic, and that's what you'd expect. You know, you've got, I don't know, computers that have taken over the world, giant octopuses from space, and you know, it's just bonkers, really. But that's just the type of sort of Monty Python-esque humour that's in it. It's quite sort of there isn't spoken. What's the word I'm looking for? There isn't the speech. There's no real speech in it. Then it's not narrated or anything. It's all done beep 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 beep. You know, that type of talking, and it's mostly text based. And there is a bit of swearing and bad language in the text, which is on point for this sort of style of game. It's not. I wouldn't put that as a negative, but all in all, I'm going to leave you here now with it just playing out a little bit of the gameplay from Lair of the Clockwork God. And we'll see you on tomorrow's show, guys, okay? But if you want to watch a bit more of the gameplay, then a couple more minutes left here, and then we'll round the video off. Okay, so ta-ra now. This has been Glyn, Cheapskate Gaming, Wonderful World of Games, and we'll see you on the next one.